Hi, Angie. Today we're going to learn about food chains. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Um, okay, wait, let me um, make my screen bigger. Okay, 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 so as you know, plants make food thanks through photosynthesis. Okay, so they use the sunlight and they use water and minerals in soil, and they use carbon dioxide to make food for itself, for the plant to grow. Animals eat plants, and other animals eat the animals that eat plants. For example, when you eat a hamburger from the cow who ate the grass, and that grass made food from the sun, okay? So the plants and the animals are part of a food chain, okay? You can see here, you have grass that made food for itself thanks to photosynthesis. You have the cow that ate the grass, and then you have the hamburger that came from the cow. Okay. For our vocabulary today, we have the word food chain, cadena alimenticia. So it's a line of living things that show the flow of energy. See, there was energy in this grass, then it was eaten by a rabbit, a consumer, that I want to explain later what's that, and then a fox ate the rabbit. So the energy is flowing from the grass to the rabbit to the fox. Then we have the word food web, red alimenticia. Okay, so it's a group of connected food chains. Um, and we're gonna learn about food chains right now. Okay, so all living things need energy. They need energy to breathe. They need um, energy to make food. They need energy to sleep. Okay, and plants and animals must have energy to live. Okay, and energy moves or flows through the plants and animals, and the energy can be traced, like what I showed you before in the example of the fox and the bunny and the grass. Okay, so you can follow the energy as it moves from one living thing to the other. Okay, a food chain, it's a line of plants and animals that shows the order things get eaten. So who gets eaten by who? Usually it starts by plants. Okay, plants use light energy from the sun to make food, and animals eat plants to get energy. Some animals eat other animals to get energy, and then you can see how the energy flows. Like in this example here, you have a corn, which is a plant, then you have an animal that eats the plant, in this case, a mouse, and then you have an animal that eats the first animal, in this case, a snake, eats the mouse. And then you have the owl that eats the snake, that ate the mouse, that ate the corn. So you see, you can see how the energy moved from one thing to the other. And here's another example. Here you have grass that made its own food. Then you have a rabbit that eats the grass, and then you have a fox that eats the rabbit. So you can see how the energy moved from the grass to the rabbit to the fox. Another example here is if you drink milk. You have grass, a cow eats the grass, and then somebody milks the cow, and you have your milk, and you drink. In this picture in your lesson, it mentioned producers, consumers, and predators. So I'm gonna explain that so it's clear. Producers are plants, okay? It's another name for plants. Consumers are animals that consume plants, that eat plants, so herbivores. And then you have predators. Predators are animals that eat other animals, or you would say carnivores. Okay, so for example, I here give you a picture of plants, a producer. Here's a picture of some consumers or herbivores. Cows, you have deer, a goat, elephant, a zebra, a rabbit, a caterpillar, a grasshopper. And then predators, animals that eat other animals. Here I have a mountain lion, a cheetah, a lion, a wolf. What else is here? Um, what else? A bear. Okay. And then for food webs, okay, sometimes food chains are linked together to make food webs. So it's different, food chain from food web. Food webs are not as simple as food chains. In food webs, animals eat more than one type of food. Food webs show the flow of energy from plants to animals. And here's an example, and it's like a really simplified food web because they can be really complicated if you have many animals in it. But just to show you, okay, so you have a plant here, and what animals feed from the plant? A mouse, a beetle, and a dragonfly, okay? But then you have a frog, and the frog can eat both dragonflies and beetles, okay? And then you have a snake that eats both frogs and mice, okay? And then for today, after you finish your lesson and you take your notes, I want you to add something to your note, okay, as an activity. I want you to make an example of a food change in your notebook so you can draw it and label it, and also an example of a food web in your notebook. So both food web and food change. And here I give you a picture. You can copy the ones from your lesson, or you can choose your own from an animal that you like, okay? That would be it, Ange.